Good morning. Happy Saturday, the first weekend in March, and it does feel like spring is in the air. It's even brighter in the mornings here, starting at 7:30 in the village, which is always great to see. We have a great show for you coming. We have lots of information about what's happening this weekend, the weather. We have some exciting exclusive interviews coming live on the show today as well. Lots to chat about, and we are with you for the next hour. So pour that cup of coffee. Vail Valley Live starts right now.
Good morning and welcome to the weekend edition of Vail Valley Live. I'm Heather Blackman here in the cozy, warm studios at the Grand Hyatt in East Vail. Or in West Vail, goodness. Meredith Kirkman, you just saw, she's over in the village at Lion's Head, and we've got Leah in here as our producer, and we are so happy to share all the things that are happening this weekend, plus those amazing interviews that Meredith just talked about. So we have lots for you this morning. Going to be a wonderful show, so buckle up, here we go. So let's take a look at our weather as we get started today. On my drive in from Edwards, and actually Leah's drive in from out in Eagle, the roads were a little bit slick, but not too bad. So not the weather has been giving us some nice fresh snow. It's 6 degrees right now in Beaver Creek, 5 degrees right now in Vail, but it's going to be getting up to 36. So this has kind of been a trend this week where it starts out a little bit chilly, but the daytime temperatures have been very nice. So just layering up as you head out the door, and hopefully by the time you get moving and doing all the activities, it's actually going to feel quite comfortable as the day goes on. Overnight, we did have a little bit of snow that I saw, although I'm not seeing it right here on the forecast. So taking a look ahead of what's coming for the rest of the week. So like we talked about, it's going to be 32 today, getting even warmer moving into tomorrow, 32, high 40s into Monday through Wednesday, or low 40s Monday through Wednesday. And it'll be a little warmer in the morning. So where you just saw those single digits, looking ahead, we're going to be in the 20s for our low tomorrow, and then in the teens the rest of the week. So a little bit warmer than it is today, and you see that sunshine picture, maybe a little bit more sun and blue skies coming as we get into the week. Looking at our snow forecast, there we go, 6 inches of snow overnight. I'm actually planning to hit the mountain a little bit later, so 6 inches at Beaver Creek, 7 inches at Vail. I am very excited to see those nice big numbers. I like those even better than those 2 inches, but looking for the next 5 days, 2 to 3 inches. So enjoying a little of the extra powder today, and we'll get some refills throughout the week. But looking out, there's some nice numbers in the forecast about 6 to 10 days from now, adding up to 18 inches at both Beaver Creek and Vail, and it looks like the days to look out for are next weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, some really nice numbers in the forecast. So fingers crossed that we'll see that happen, and we'll have some nice ski days ahead. And so now just taking it back out to Meredith, let's see how it actually feels out there. That's always the big thing. Sometimes the wind can play a big difference, and see how things are feeling in Lion's Head for her right now. There she is. Hey, Meredith, how's it feeling?
It's not too bad. You know, we're starting a little bit brisk, but I can see some patches of blue sky, which always makes me feel optimistic. And I'm just roaming around Lion's Head. So right here we have some skiers headed to the mountain. This is the whole area. It's called Arabelle, and this wasn't always here. Like back in the day, if you haven't been here in like 10, 20 years, Arabelle wasn't really a thing, but it really takes you almost to Europe. It's very Bavarian feeling. It's really beautiful, even where I'm looking here. Just some gorgeous views. And so people really enjoy staying in Arabelle. There's Blue Moose Pizza. And then just around the corner here is one of our few ice skating rinks that is open daily, and this is always a really nice area to bring the family and have an activity that's off the mountain, not necessarily skiing. So this is really awesome. And I also must shout out Blue Moose Pizza, one of our
Absolutely.
favorite pizza joints in the town. So yeah, it's really a beautiful morning, and I can already start to see a lot of skiers and riders head to the mountain because, spoiler alert, you already spoiled it. It's a powder day. So it's going to be a big weekend here on the mountain. We also see spring breakers start to come up March 1st. It's
Yep.
really a busy month here with a lot of different spring breaks from Texas, California, New York. We see a lot of crowds come in. So that's always good to look forward to that for business and the atmosphere, the vibe. But just be aware because it's going to be a little bit busier on the mountain. It is also peak parking. So we expect to see the parking fill up even in the morning.
Yeah.
So be aware of that. Make a plan because it's always a bummer when you are trying to park and it's full. So you got to have a couple different plan options.
Yeah, especially on these kind of powder days, I think getting out a little earlier than maybe you want to even, just so that you can secure that parking space can be really helpful, especially on a powder day. So kind of double trouble, right? It's a weekend, lots of ski breaks. I know locally the kids are off this week as well, so lots and lots of people going to be hitting the mountain today. And hey, I want to be out there too, so I think that's a good plan.
Definitely. Yeah, we say early bird gets the worm, and we understand that here on Vail Valley Live.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I don't know, Meredith, have you heard about the ski touring event that's in Leadville this weekend as well? I have never been up there, but it sounds like pretty interesting, and it's going to be all weekend, so today and tomorrow, in the downtown area of historic Harrison Avenue. Have you been to one of these events before?
I haven't, but the photos and videos make it very familiar and exciting. I mean, this is so cool that it kind of brings you back in the day, and it's something that you are not going to normally see. I mean, there's a horse is literally like racing a skier and they jump off. I mean, it's something that you would almost have in your dreams. So
Yeah.
really a unique event happening that's only about an hour away from us.
Absolutely. And like you said, they're pulling the skier down, and you'll see there's jumps, there's gates, there's rings. This is a unique way to see something totally different down the main street in Leadville. And apparently it's been going on since 1949. So this is not anything new. This craziness has been happening for a while, and like a really fun way to just kind of probably grab a beverage, lining those streets right there and enjoying this very unique event at kind of one of the highest elevations as well.
Yeah, Leadville is such a cool town. I suggested a little bit more in the summer to go and visit, take a day trip if you're visiting up here. But the winter is really cool too. And just before Leadville, there's also a whole nother ski resort called Ski Cooper. And if you are a beginner, kind of getting your legs under you, maybe Vail or Beaver Creek's a little bit intimidating. That's a great mountain to go to. It's not that steep. It's really spread out, beautiful views. So I'd love to suggest that for beginners or families. I mean, it's just a really great mountain. That's just another option a little bit away from us. And then, yeah, you get to Leadville, really historic, cute downtown with different shops. The very famous Melanzana sweatshirts. They originated up there in the stores up there, and they actually sew and make the sweatshirts in there. Normally there's a line to even get in, and it's the only place you can purchase those. So that's also another reason why people go up to Leadville. But this event is something to put on the bucket list.
Absolutely. And like you said, whenever I see, a lot of us call them mellies, right? When you see somebody wearing that, you kind of know they've at least visited Colorado, because like you said, you can't really get them anywhere else. So it's pretty unique. So I'll be in the airport in some other state and I'll be like, oh, are you from Colorado? Just from seeing what they're wearing, which is kind of a fun thing that we have. Pretty close by. Like you said, only about an hour. It is a more off the beaten path route. So especially on days like this, I'm going to expect that the roads are a little bit more snowy. So if you're going to head up that way, maybe a 4-wheel drive, taking it nice and slow and just enjoying the beautiful scenery, because you do go through a lot of, I think it's National Park through there. I've definitely been camping in that area. And so it's gorgeous all the way up. So not only do you have that destination, but it's a beautiful drive to get up there with that. Excellent.
Oh yeah,
So,
it just takes you.
Go ahead.
It just makes you feel like you're in just an escape, a wilderness escape. Definitely different than our Vail Valley.
Absolutely.
But it is still part of Eagle County. So we have some people that do live in Leadville and come up and commute up here to work in the valley too. So we love Leadville. My brother wears his melons on it religiously.
Now, speaking of escapes, Meredith, you're just back in town from an escape yourself. Tell us about your trip to Arizona.
It's true. It's a lot colder here than there. But I will say we saw snow in Arizona at my parents' place.
Oh,
and this
really?
is northwest Scottsdale. So it is like full-on desert, cactus outside their house. This is a little hike we went on yesterday just to kind of wrap up the trip. Just so gorgeous. And this is actually a really unique crested saguaro. Really rare to see that kind of formation, but the cactus out there are just so big and dramatic. So cool to either go on hikes or mountain bike rides. It was really nice to get a little desert escape, but we did see it snow one day. It was a little bit cold and rainy, but it turned to snow where their house was, and then where up in the ski country in the Arizona Bowl, which is Flagstaff, they had 36 inches of snow overnight.
Wow.
And this past week, 90 inches of snow. So Arizona is seeing a lot of snow, even sometimes a little bit more than us. It's been a crazy year for them. This was the mountain right outside their house, and I don't think that mountain has seen snow in like 10 years.
That is crazy. I mean, you've been seeing pictures like this from a lot of different places, so it's neat that you got to see like snow-capped peaks that aren't normally snow-capped ever. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Definitely. Yeah. It's almost like when you go out to the desert and you see the red rock, like in Moab, and you see the snow, the red rock. It's really unique to see snow in the desert, but it was still such a lovely getaway and just a little bit of time off of work. But now we're back here in the winter wonderland. I mean, the Christmas lights are still up, and it was a little shocking to see, but it's still very jolly around here in the valley, and we want to keep that all the way through the ski season. But now we start to bring a little bit of the spring vibe to Vail, which is nice. The spring skiing, the warmer weathers, the picnics, and you got to stay tuned because we're bringing on my friend Anna Tetstrom, who just founded a ski line called Hoo Ha, and this is a perfect opportunity to buy some spring ski clothes, some spring snowboarding clothes. It's just so much fun. So we're going to chat a little bit about that later in the show.
Awesome. Can't wait. Well, we're going to head to a commercial real quick, and then we'll be back with even more of those interviews that we've talked about coming up. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and watch Vail Valley Latino. Our goal is to elevate the voices of the Latino community in the Eagle River Valley and provide a platform to speak with local businesses, organizations, entrepreneurs, creatives, and much more. Find the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Outside Television Channel 17. We are Vail Valley Latino.
Welcome back to the weekend edition of Vail Valley Live. Remember, you can watch us every day from 7:30 to 8:30. You can find us on Facebook. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe on YouTube. On either platform, you can always cast that to your TV. Or if you're in the Valley, you can also watch us on Channel 17 Outside TV. Make sure if you're on Facebook or YouTube, say hi. Let us know where you're watching from, and maybe we can give you a little shout out during the show. So let's head over and check out our headlines in the Vail Daily today. So remember, you can always grab your Vail Daily from the boxes all around town. It's a free paper, tons of information, and you can also check it out online if you prefer. So there's a great shot on the the pretend cover that you'll see of the beautiful powder that somebody is writing in. But then we have our actual cover page where we talk a little bit about a couple of highlights for the day. First, we've got the special districts that are set to vote, and we'll dive more into this story in a moment. But this is actually an election coming up in May. So we have a couple of elections that happen around the different districts. And then also there's a shot from yesterday's memorial for Kellen Collins, who's being remembered as a happy, athletic, quick with a joke, and quick to lend a hand. And we'll dive a little bit more into that sad story as well in a few minutes. So looking first at that special districts holding spring elections. So a few of the county's 70 plus districts will be voting in May. So special district elections are a bit more specialized than what we normally have in November. So some districts run their own elections while other districts use private firms to run it and count the votes. There's more than 70 special districts in Eagle County alone, some being large in population and geography. Others might be just one subdivision. So you can read about all the districts that are near us and what they're going to be voting on A3 in today's paper. And then looking at that memorial service, the community packs the pavilion to remember Kellen Collins. So this is a local team, again, remembered as a happy, athletic, quick with a joke, and quick to lend a hand. Unfortunately, he passed February 26th, and those who loved him packed Eagle's Brush Creek Pavilion on Friday to share hugs, tears, and stories of a gifted athlete who also shared the gift of laughter with everyone he knew. And you can read more about this story on A4. Protecting the West. So this is 3 members of Colorado's congressional delegation seeking $60 billion to reduce wildfire risk and restore Western land. So this is a big threat here in the West that federal lawmakers are trying to get ahead of future burns by spending $60 billion to shore up forest, grassland, and watershed health before fires can clog rivers, disrupt economies, and end lives. So there's a new bill introduced Tuesday known as the Protect the West Act that would establish a grant fund to help reduce wildfire risk, restore forests and watersheds, and expand outdoor access and improve wildlife habits. So you can read all about this, tons of information, starting on page A2. Then moving on to sports and outdoors, our favorite local skier, Schifrin, takes 4th in Kvitfell Super G. She's still 1 win shy of Stenmark's all-time record with 2 more events. So she took 4th place in Friday's Super G, the first of 3 days of speed events in Norway. She skied the Olympia Bakken Hill, used in the 94 Lillehammer Olympics, and in 1 minute, 26.99 seconds, missing the podium by just 0.04 seconds. So she'll have another chance to do that in Saturday's downhill and Sunday's Super G. So read more about what's coming here. This is towards the back of the paper on A25. And then finally, a look back on VPAC. This is super interesting. Definitely tons of photos you're going to want to check out in today's paper. Kind of looking back at how the Art Center came to be. They're celebrating 25 years pretty close to this week. And as it's celebrating the 25th anniversary, it seems like the underground venue was always meant to be designed under the ice rink, but a quarter century ago, the idea of building a world-class venue underground was innovated and even considered somewhat crazy. So as you kind of flip through this article, you'll notice it wasn't actually supposed to always be under the ice rink, so you can kind of see construction photos and read about what the original plan was. Really cool way to learn more about one of our wonderful local performing arts venues, and that kicks off the arts and entertainment section on B1. So tons of information in the paper today. Definitely grab your copy and make sure that you're up to date with all of those great things. So let's take a look at our roads at the traffic cams today, see how it is. Like I mentioned, the roads weren't that bad, but definitely a little slick in some areas. So as you're heading out today, maybe giving just a little more time, a little more space in front of you. So as you take a look at those roads, you'll see most of it's been off the sides, but especially around curves, just use a little extra caution. There's definitely some of that slippery, slushy snow still on the sides of the roads and in certain places. So just taking extra time. Surface roads are definitely still pretty snow-packed. When I got off the highway here in Vail, a lot of snow still on the road. So a little extra time as you slow down off those extra exit ramps, and definitely take your time on those surface roads so that you can stay nice and safe. All right, well, let's take it back out to Meredith, see where she is, and we can talk a little bit more about what's going on this weekend. Hey, Meredith. It looks like it's nice and bright out. I mean, it's so crazy today when I got up. The sun was already up. I'm so used to it being dark. It looks like a beautiful, bright day already.
I know. It is such a good feeling to wake up and not have it pitch dark. It makes waking up easier. But I'm here at the base, and we have a small line the gondola. But, some good vibes here. And just to tail end your road report, I actually, because we just spoke about me coming from my trip, and I flew into Denver. I landed about 8 and waited for a Peak 1 Express, which is one of the shuttle services from Denver up here into the mountains. And we were driving, and the roads were pretty good. It was lightly snowing, and then we got to about Copper, which is just at the base of Vail Pass, and we were maybe 10 cars before they closed Vail Pass.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
It was such a bummer, after traveling all day and coming up and knowing I had to be up early for this show. And so we were actually stuck on the roads for an hour and a half before they reopened it back up. And I'm not sure if there was an accident or if they just closed it out of precaution. It was pretty windy. And at the top of the pass, it was snowing definitely a lot harder than down at Copper. But it was definitely a bummer, and we see that a lot. So just be aware, if there's a snowstorm, the chances of the road closures over the passes are good, unfortunately. It's like one of the more unfortunate things about this valley, and there's not that much.
Absolutely.
It's really such a great place, but our road closures, it just is part of the experience. So I was a victim of the pass closing, but we were able to get there safe and sound. But it was an hour and a half on the road until it could open.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, just wanted to share it with the viewers that can happen.
I always try to fly out of Eagle Vail whenever I can, especially this time of year, just to avoid that. But it really depends, availability. Everybody else is also trying to fly out of Eagle Vail, so sometimes that gets really tricky, and it's definitely a little bit more expensive. So I'm always trying to weigh the pros and cons of, do you think I'm going to get stuck on the roads on the way back? And that's the nightmare situation, right? When you're almost there and it closes right in front of you. And like you said, it happens more often than you'd think. I actually remember moving up here for the first time, and we had a small U-Haul behind us, and the pass closed, and we had to find a place that accepted large dogs, because I had 2 very large dogs at the time, and worry about the U-Haul behind us. So it's always a bit of a challenge. And like you said, there's not a lot of downsides, but sometimes getting over that Vail Pass is one of those tricky spots that can kind of mess things up a little.
Definitely. But I will shout out Peak 1 Express. The driver took very good care of us, and it is one of the shuttle services. You can also go to the Epic ride, and you can even get a discount through your Epic Pass. So there's a few different shuttle services out there, and if you're visiting here, maybe that's a good option if you don't rent a car. There's not a ton of different ways, but there's also bus staying, which you can get on, and it's more of a bus situation. So you can look that up, but it's definitely, you need a plan from the airport to get up here to Vail. It's another 2-hour commute. So make sure you have that all planned out if you are traveling here.
Absolutely. And if you're visiting here and you want to learn a little bit more about Vail while you're kind of getting out and about, there's a lot of different tours you can do while you're here. So a lot of these tours are actually complimentary, so nothing you need to do to pay for. So maybe just a great way to kind of set up the beginning of your vacation. Or even if you live here, sometimes it's fun to act like you're a tourist and get to learn a little bit more about the place we live, because sometimes you don't hear these things. So a couple of items that I saw that were interesting. There's these women's winter adventure tours, and these happen Mondays and Wednesdays. They meet at 9:45 at that Legacy Hut at the top of the Mountaintop Express. They leave at 10. You do want to be like an advanced intermediate skier and rider, but that's a really great way to kind of explore the mountain. I've done this in a couple of places before when I visited. I've actually not done it here. I don't know if you've tried this before as well?
No, I haven't, but I love these women groups that can rally, and it might be the environment that feels inviting to you, and meet some friends while you're doing it. There's a lot of different organizations and nonprofits here that support women in mountains. So this is a really cool opportunity.
Absolutely. And if you're not a woman, or maybe you want another day, there's also the Blue Sky Basin Tour. So same situation, you meet at that Legacy Hut. This one is 10:15 a.m. at the top of Mountaintop Express, Sundays through Fridays. So really every day but Saturday. So these leave very promptly at 10:30. And again, advanced intermediate skiers and riders, but another really good way to kind of see the mountain, explore a little bit, maybe learn about the place that you're going to be riding. So lots of fun ways for you to kind of get your bearings, and not even something that you need to add any extra cost for. So I think that's a fun way to just enjoy and learn about the mountain, the trails, the trail names, some of the history. And there is a lot of history here at Vail. And so that's kind of a neat way for you to start to understand a little bit more about it.
Definitely. And another way is these really cool apps that we're going to be talking about that can help you navigate the mountain in such a different, unique way better than Google Maps could ever do. So stay tuned, because that interview is coming up in the next block very shortly. But really cool app to, like I said, help navigate literally on Vail Mountain or Beaver Creek. So
yeah,
stay
this
tuned
is pretty
for
cool.
That.
It's a pretty cool thing, and on and off the mountain. So I can't wait to hear more from Karen about that. Let's head over. We'll check out a little interview that we did earlier with John Michael Lyles at the Yeti's Grind, and hear a little bit more about him.
Hey there, we're here in Vail outside Yeti's Grind with the Locals and Legends series. Joining me today, we have John Michael Lyles, former NHL player, but now has recreated himself here in Vail with some business ventures, growing his family, and giving back to the community. So, first of all, cheers.
Cheers.
What are you drinking today?
I have a dirty chai.
Oh, I love that. That's what got me into coffee, actually. Just starting off with the little coffee taste.
Yeah, exactly. That's I never drank coffee when I was playing hockey, and then when I retired, now I cannot get through the day without it. So.
Yeah, especially having two girls.
Two girls, yes, exactly. You need a couple of cups in the morning for sure.
All right, so take us through the timeline of your career. I know you had a few different involvements with different teams for the NHL.
So I broke into the NHL in 2003 with the Avalanche in Denver. They drafted me when I was in college at Michigan State. I played 8 years for them, so 03 to 11. Then I was traded to Toronto. And Toronto for a few years, then traded to Carolina, and Carolina for a few years, and then traded to Boston. And we finished in Boston for my last year and a half or so.
What was it like bouncing around from team to place to country?
You know what? I was fortunate to be in Denver for a good portion of my career. Met my wife there, and so just had a great experience there. Kind of always knew that I was going to be back in Colorado in one form or another, and you know, getting traded and moving around is kind of part of the business, and you understand that. Hardest part, I think, is just for families, and we were fortunate the first time that I went from Colorado to Toronto, we didn't have any kids, and then Toronto to Carolina, we didn't have any kids, and then Carolina to Boston, we had a kid. So I got traded, I left a few hours later, and my wife had to pack up the house, the dog, the kid, and get us to Boston, you know, a couple days later. So, you know, the behind the scenes stuff is definitely interesting when it comes to, you know, going to a new team, whether it's a trade or free agency, and the unsung heroes are the spouses and the kids, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure of it. But you got the Colorado bite, the bug, early on. And so what was it like? We got to ask, playing for the Colorado Avalanche?
It was amazing. I came into the league at a time where we were really good, and we had a number of Hall of Famers on the team, which was amazing to learn from those guys, and still quite close with a number of them. So coming in 2003 with the Avs, it was special. I'm from Indiana originally and went to college in Michigan, and coming out here, I'd only been to Colorado once or twice prior to making the team, and being able to live in Denver and come up to the mountains when we had off days was just something that was so special to me. And getting traded and moving to different places, I realized just how much I missed Colorado, and kind of knew, like I said, that I was going to end up back here one way, shape, or form, and here we are.
Here you are. The mountains were calling.
Yeah, exactly.
So you retired in 2017?
It's 2017, yes.
And then you moved to Vail.
We did. So we had a house in Denver, and we had always talked about potentially living in the mountains, and we just decided to, make the jump. Moved up here. I still do quite a bit of stuff down in Denver with youth hockey, and still do some TV for them as well. So we're down there quite a bit, but we love raising our kids up here in the mountains. I mean, taking them skiing, and my oldest plays hockey, and so it's an amazing place to raise kids, and we wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh my gosh, so what was your first impression of Vail?
I would come up here all the time on breaks when I was with the Avs, and so being able to come up here and you're less than 2 hours away, and I mean, outside, and just so many activities in the winter, and then you find out the summer is equally as good.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's always had a special place in my heart. And then my wife and I got married here in 2013, so just knowing that we have so many memories here, and now living here full time, I don't know, it's hard to put into words sometimes.
For sure. Well, being born and raised here, it's one of the best things that my parents did. So I'm excited for your girls to be raised here. I'm sure it was such a transition from being in the NHL to then kind of recreating yourself and finding some business ventures. So outside of the hockey career, what are you involved in?
Man, like I said, I still do some stuff for the Avs in Denver and around the state of Colorado with youth hockey, trying to give back there. Do some TV for them, and then now I'm involved in real estate here in Vail. So had a unique opportunity to partner up with a good friend of mine. So I work for Liv Sotheby's, and we're actually on the sales team for Frontgate Avon, which is a new development just outside the gates of Beaver Creek. So that takes up a lot of my time, but it's amazing. We have a great team that we work with, and the developers as well. So it's been a really fun project to be on, and just one foot in front of the other every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a whole new chapter for you post hockey career.
Yes.
So Vail Youth Hockey, let's touch on that. Are you involved here? Because I'm sure they look up to you, and you are a big mentor to them.
So I am involved. I'm on the board of the Vail Mountaineers. I help coach my 7-year-old in U8 hockey as well, and still try and play every week or 2 weeks here. Just getting out skating, getting a sweat. The thing you miss the most after you retire is just being around the guys and being around the rink, and really just interacting with everybody. And so to be able to do that even once every couple of weeks it's an outlet that I need. And there's so many great people here. It's such a great community. There's a lot of great hockey players. And so to be able to, to spend time with those folks is very special.
Yeah, there's so much identity tied into the rink. And the Mountaineers, young at age, and maybe even the Vail Yeti hockey, they'll all look up to you. Yeah,
well, and the Yeti guys are fantastic. I skate with a number of them. I head up the Colorado Avalanche Alumni Association as well, and we have a big charity event in September every year. So we play the Yeti and raise a bunch of money for Mountaineers. And it's just been, we talk about it, the sense of community up here, and the Yeti are obviously part of that. And so, it's all intertwined.
Yes, absolutely. So if you were going to give your younger self advice, what would it be?
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I would say soak it all in. I've had the amazing opportunity to play in the NHL for 14 years. but I also had the opportunity to travel and in so many countries around the world. And a lot of times I think that in the moment you don't appreciate it as much, and so my younger self, I definitely didn't. It was always, okay, what's next, and you're on to the next thing. I would say just take a step back and really enjoy being able to travel to those countries, and Sweden, Russia, Switzerland, all those different places. I played in Germany during the lockout one year, lived there for 3 or 4 months, and should have appreciated it more. So it sounds cliche, but looking back on it now at 42 years old, I would absolutely tell myself that.
Sit back and smell the roses. Well, last question for you. How has the Vail community really supported you and your goals?
I can't say enough about the community up here, how much they've supported not only myself, but my wife, my kids, whether it's school, whether it's activities outside of school, sports, whatever. It's just an amazing place to raise a family, or to be a family, and a big part of that is the community. When you are here and you're here full time, you get to live that day out.
Yeah, we are the lucky ones.
We are the lucky ones, absolutely, yes.
Here in Vail, and we're lucky enough to live it. So
yeah.
Whether you knew it or not, you are local legend now here in Vail, and we welcome you and your family with open arms.
My wife would disagree with you, but I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, John, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the Outlet Silverthorne. I'm here to share with you an amazing place called the Colorado Welcome Center. We've got fabulous brochures on all the nearby places and towns and things to do right here while you're in Summit County and visiting the Outlet at Silverthorne. And of course, pick up your Elite Savings Card booklet, offering you fabulous discounts and a rewards program too. See you soon.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery is kind of a one-stop shop. We have everything in-house.
We have cast techs, MRI machines, x-ray, of course, right at our clinic, physical therapy right at our clinic.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what your diagnosis is with all the resources we have, and that's what we do.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Grand Hyatt Vail, Hyatt's newest luxury resort in Vail.
Welcome back. Let's get to your weather forecast in case you missed it earlier. Sponsored Hyatt here in West Vail, the beautiful space I'm sitting in right now. Weather today starting out a little chilly, 6 degrees in Beaver Creek, Vail, but we're going to be warming up to the mid 30s. So just a little layers as you head out this morning, beating the traffic rush. And then just making sure it's going to be a nice day, I think. If we saw with Meredith, we've got some guys peeking through. So we've got plenty of good weather on the way. Then looking ahead to the rest of the week, tomorrow is very similar, but starting out a little warmer. So it's going to be in the low 20s, starting the day, rising into the low 30s. And then it'll get even warmer going into the start of next week. So sunny skies in the forecast, low 30s, and the temperatures are going to be in the high teens as a low. So it's going to be a really nice week moving on. And then looking a little further, that's going to start to transition into some snow. So little snow coming in later next week, those 18 inches in the forecast in this next 6 to 10 days. Through the beginning of the week, just a little dusting here or there, 1 to 2 inches, adding up to about 2 to 3 inches. So I think we've got a nice powder day today, then a little bit of a break with a couple little refreshes. And then as we get towards the end of next week, we'll get another big splash of snow when we get to the weekend. So really good to see some of the snowy pattern coming back. Very excited about that as a powder skier. And that is kind of what you get to look forward to. So let's head out to Meredith. I think we've got an awesome interview for you guys with Karen Nolan of Mappy. So this is that app that we were chatting about a little bit earlier. So let's hear a little bit more about that.
Hey there, I'm joined with Karen Nolan, and we are here at the base of Lion's Head soaking in the beautiful views. And we have such a cool topic to discuss. We have a new app that is hitting the world by storm, and this is such a cool way to, take it above Google Maps or even find my location. This is just so cool because the mountain can be intimidating and keeping your family together can be intimidating, and this is a tool to do so. So I'm so excited to learn about this.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited to launch our app called Snow Mappy. It's on iOS and Android. And you can find your friends and family on the mountain or find where the amenities are, like the bathroom or the restaurants. And this year we actually brought us into the villages. So we have one map with the mountains as well as with the village. So you can see what amenities are in each building. And as I mentioned, you can have groups of people. So you can have a group with your family and then a group with your colleagues, and they can't see across groups, but then you can see where they all are. So right now, when I have some folks skiing on the mountain, I can see them moving all around on the 2D and 3D maps.
I love the little, smiley faces with the pin where they are. It's just so great. So Mappy, that makes you happy. And I'm sure that this brings a lot of relief to people trying to keep their families together. But this is a newer project. When did you launch Mappy?
Yeah, so we're a startup. So we launched a few years ago. So I'm fortunate enough to be spending a few winters here in the mountains, which is amazing. And I built it because my husband is from Utah originally. I grew up in California and now live in Hawaii. And I was always trying to figure out where he was on the mountain, as well as when I got to like a fork in the trail, make sure that I didn't end up on a double black diamond inadvertently. So, and then also, of course, where to go for après ski and get that hot chocolate after the long day.
Definitely. So you developed this app.
Yeah.
How do you develop the apps before? What kind of brought you to this space that made you confident enough to do this venture?
Thanks. Yeah, it has been an adventure for sure. So my background, I had another company that focused in high accuracy GPS for 17 years. And after that company was acquired, I decided to do this passion project to solve my own problems, not only at ski resorts, but it's for any large venue. So anywhere that you enter the doors and you need to find different things, that's when you can go in and see the 2D and 3D maps as we see here. It's all selectable. So this is actually, we can share a location from the mobile application to anybody that has internet access. So you can share with Ski Patrol, you can share with your grandma in a different state. So that's just showing just your location at the moment. But in the mobile application, you can actually see your group of people with their avatars moving around live. It's like we've moved into that now. So, you want me to explain?
Yeah, please do. This is so cool.
So this is the actual app. It's called Snow Mappy. Again, it's on iOS and Android. And so you can pan and zoom around. And so I'm going to move and choose my resort. I'm going to choose Vail here. And as you go into that, this is a 2D view. And so as you zoom in, you can start seeing the labels of the runs and of the lifts. And there's things that are selectable. So I just can click anywhere on the map and it'll be the name of the run and how to get there, or the name of a lift and how to get there. And then as you zoom out, you can also see that we have those villages. So that's new this year. So we're zooming into the Vail village, and you can see the amenities inside the buildings. So what this has the names of all the stores that are in there. I can select on the building. It shows me everything that's in there. And then again, you can get turn by turn directions, either from your location or from another location on the mountain. And then so you can map from the village altogether, and then it gives you that turn by turn in order to get there.
See, that's what makes it different than your typical Google Maps, or even just the maps on the iPhone. Because it's detail on the mountain to the village.
Yeah.
So cool. And so you're starting to collaborate with ski resorts.
Yes.
Vail and Beaver Creek included.
So we build developers. So the Snow Mappy app is for consumers. It's free. So we're testing our own technology. We're testing our developer tools so we can work out all those bugs and kinks. But we actually build developer tools so that we can be embedded in the native applications of the resorts themselves as their mapping engine. Yeah. So what you're seeing here actually is the crew functionality. So you can see that I have an avatar of probably my husband up on the mountain skiing down a run. And so again, I can see what run he's on, and I can actually click on his avatar and I can see his location and then navigate to him. So what we like about it is that you can show up at a resort and basically you don't have to call or text, because by the time you reach that text or you reach that call, they've moved, right? And so you can then just see where they are and then get to them. And this is that 3D view, so you can also see the terrain and the elevation model underneath. And again, it's all selectable. So to create a crew, this is actually showing to call ski patrol, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you can share your position as I was showing before, and so you can then share that position with ski patrol or with other people that are on the mountain and text them that, and then that would open this browser, that 3D map that's the same that you see in your mobile application.
Wow, I just love how far technology has come. It's so inspiring to see, and just to know that you are part of doing this, the startup energy,
It's been
and
fun.
I know you have big dreams to get this into, different festivals and where you have the same feeling of wanting to keep your family together. So
Yeah, and also just to find the closest location to whatever it is that you're looking for. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I hope you all try it.
definitely. I mean, we could use that on Vail Valley Live. Utilize talking about, because we're always talking about on mountain and in the village. So this is to us. We hope to you guys. If you want to learn more, how can people learn?
Sure. Yeah. So our website is bemappy, like behappy.io. But you can also go to our Instagram, and it's b.mappy. So be happy, be mappy. Find your friends and family. Find where that bathroom is and where all the après ski is. So yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank you,
so much.
Karen.
Thank you.
Go and be mappy.
Thanks.
Thanks, Meredith and Karen. That was really awesome. Really neat to learn more about this app. It's something I think that would be super helpful for me and just as you're hanging out with your friends. So checking in really quick with our Facebook and YouTube comments. So Rodney Travis checked in with us on Facebook. He is watching from Charleston, South Carolina. Rodney, always great to have you watching us, and thanks for commenting and engaging. Remember, you can always watch us on Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or you can watch us on Channel 17 Outside TV. So a couple of events coming up. We talked a little bit about that this is the 25th anniversary at the Vail Performing Arts Center. And there are some great shows in the lineup coming up. If you want to go check out this beautiful space, you can kind of see that picture at the top there. That is the new chandelier that you will see right in the lobby area, right over the staircase that was just installed at the beginning of the season in celebration of this 25 years. So there are some great events in the lineup coming up. That first one that I think is the Yamato Drummers of Japan. This looks to be a really amazing event. It's a Japanese taiko drumming group. They are based in Asukamura, Nara Prefecture. I hope I pronounced that at least somewhat close. And they call themselves Yamato. They have done more than 4,000 shows across 54 countries, and now they're coming here to Beaver Creek to the Vail Center. This looks like a pretty amazing event. 40 taiko drums, and all of them have different characters. Going to be a pretty amazing experience. And then the Preservation Hall Jazz Band presents Pass It On. So this is their 60th anniversary musical celebration. So 25th anniversary of the Vail, 60th anniversary of the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. And this is a much loved jazz group, really helping to keep the past and future of jazz alive. And they are really amazing to watch. I've seen them once before. Really, if you are a jazz fan, this is one you're not going to want to miss. And then as well, we've got a couple of other things on the radar. You'll see so many different types of events here at at Beaver Creek at the Vail Center. Anything from comedy to Broadway shows to music. So definitely go check it out. You're sure to find something that is going to be exciting for you to experience. Again, this is located underneath the ice rink. You go down the escalators and you'll find this beautiful space. It's a very intimate experience, and there's literally not a bad seat in the house. So definitely, if you're in town, something you need to see. And if you are local to the Valley, take advantage of this wonderful venue that we have to really see so many great acts throughout the season. And let's learn a little bit more about the 25 years at the Vail. We've got a little bit of a pre-recorded show to show you on this, so you can learn a little bit about what they're celebrating.
This season marks the 25th anniversary of the Vail Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek. In the past quarter of a century, this venue has provided entertainment for all ages and is considered to be a beloved gem in the Rockies. This 535-seat theater is nestled in an unusual location, underneath the outdoor skating rink on the plaza level of Beaver Creek. Littmann's Künstler Theater in Munich, Germany provided the inspiration for the wood-paneled columns, walls, and ceilings that are combined in the curved horseshoe seating layout also found in many traditional European halls, providing unobstructed views from all seats. Fundraising efforts started in 1995, and its groundbreaking was in April of 1996. On opening night, February 5th, 1998, there was a dedication of the Ford Family Relief, a wall outside the venue that depicted the Fords participating in a variety of valley-wide events. President Gerald R. Ford and wife Betty were supporters of the Vail Performing Arts Center from the beginning. The opening week's acts included Ani and Ida Kavafian with the Santa Fe Pro Musica Orchestra, Spalding Gray, All-American Dance Stars, Capitol Steps, and Marvin Hamlish. The Vail Center stage has since hosted some of the biggest acts in the entertainment world, such as Train, Sheryl Crow, country music stars Trace Adkins and Jennifer Nettles, Huey Lewis, Rick Springfield, Lucas Nelson, Keb Mo, orchestras from all over the world, dance companies, and Broadway productions like Rent, Kinky Boots, and The Producers, and many, many more over the years. Where else can you ski, hike, bike, or golf and literally be a short walk away from world-class entertainment? The Vail Performing Arts Center is that gem in the Rockies that completes not only the Beaver Creek experience, but the Vail Valley experience.
We believe in the power of a live performance. We believe in making memories together. Join us as we celebrate 25 years of making moments that last a lifetime, bringing concerts, comedy, Broadway, classical, dance, and family entertainment in the heart of the Rocky Mountains in Beaver Creek Village. View the full lineup and get tickets today at villarpack.org.
Moet Vending for life's spontaneous, festive moments. Celebrate at the Grand Hyatt Vail.
Welcome to Nap Harvest. We are showcasing healthy habits, and you can start right here feeding your family healthy, organic vegetables and fruits that are seasonal and local. They're all the way from Arizona with our wonderful, beautiful citrus fruits that we sneak across the border for. But don't forget our nap mushrooms, grown at 9,000 feet. Mushrooms are chock full of benefits for you. And then also the microgreens, also chock full of vitamins. Come see us at Nap Harvest in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 4.
Welcome back to the weekend edition of Vail Valley Live. Let's take one more look at your weather and make sure that you're prepared for the day. So starting out today, a little chilly, 6 degrees in Beaver Creek, 5 degrees in Vail, but it is going to be warming up quite nicely to 36 degrees. And even though that says mostly cloudy, we've been seeing some blue peeking through. So hopefully it'll be a really nice day. Just layer up at the beginning, and as you get active and moving, it's going to start to feel really nice. Looking ahead for the rest of the week, tomorrow is going to be very similar, just a little bit colder during the day, 32 degrees, but it's going to start out much warmer. So 21 is our low tomorrow. A little bit of snow maybe in the forecast, not a whole lot. Today is definitely our powder day on Saturday. Going ahead to the rest of the week, we're going to have low 40s, so nice and warm days with sun in the forecast. I am excited about a little bit of sun in between our little snow times, and then the teens for our lows. So not bad as we look ahead. I think it's going to be quite mild, a little bit of a break. And when we look at that snow forecast, the next couple of days, next 5 days, we had our powder overnight. Then it'll kind of slow down with a little, inch or two refills for the next 5 days, and then it's going to come back. So next weekend looks quite nice. We've got 18 inches in the next 6 to 10 days. So Saturday and Sunday right now are the days to look out for if you're looking for some more powder next weekend. So it should be good for anybody planning a weekend trip up here. We've got you covered with some snow, hopefully. So thank you to Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery for this weather report. All right, we've got one more awesome exclusive interview for you. We're going to head back out to see Meredith and learn more about Hoo Ha from her friend Anna and hear more about this brand.
Hey there, are you looking for some spring ski wear? Well, look no further, we have it. I'm joined today with Anna Tetstrom, who has launched Hoo Ha, and I'm dressed now in Hoo Ha. She's wearing a great outfit. I got even hands down. Anna, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I know. We're always spotted when we wear, so I've been wearing Hoo Ha since you started.
Yeah.
We both grew up together.
You're my number
here.
one hype girl. It's awesome.
I am the hype girl of Hoo Ha. And it's so fun to wear it. I always feel confident. I'm always getting compliments. And it's so cool to just bring a fun energy to the mountain. And I think that's really why you started Hoo Ha.
Definitely. Yeah, it was all about getting my girlfriends out and getting them less intimidated by skiing. So we wore fun outfits and it totally changed the mood. And now, because of my Sunnyside pants, a lot of people stop you and they'll ask you, is it an egg or is it a flower? It's a great
Every time.
starter.
I know. It's both. Keep it sunny side.
Exactly.
So fun. You got to give us one more twirl so you can see. So this is one of the main images of Hoo Ha.
Yes.
But you do also have a lot of different kinds of coats. So this was one of the other production runs. Some nice little rainbow patch.
Little 70s Sherpa collar.
Yes, absolutely. And you definitely bring that vintage back. So tell the viewers how you started this by bringing the vintage back.
Yeah, so I started out by taking vintage ski suits and upcycling them by adding patches and fringe and ruffles to give them a new personality, or cover stains and holes, and then I fix zippers. And I still do a couple of those where they're one-of-a-kind vintage pieces, but I took the most popular of those and had them reproduced so I could have them in every size.
That's so great. So you can really wear one of a kind. Maybe you even have a snowsuit that you're wanting to bedazzle or put some fringe on. She can do that for you as well.
Absolutely.
And you're also bringing back the crochet headband or the bonnet. Super cool stuff. I just am a big fan.
Thank you.
It's so cool because supporting small business is so important. And I know you don't have a full-on storefront like maybe you will in the future.
In the future.
But how do you get around that obstacle?
Yeah, so right now I'm selling on Instagram and on my website, and those are big drivers for that. But then I also do pop-ups. So a big thing that I'm doing this weekend is I'm doing a trunk show at Base Mountain Sports, and so we'll be right outside, and we'll have a bunch of different products that you can look through, you can try things on, and we'll be there all weekend.
Yeah, so it's not this Base Mountain Sports. You're going to be up in Beaver Creek.
Right next to the ice rink.
Okay, right next to
and there's a little bar there, so you can get a cocktail and you can try on some Hoo Ha.
And we call it Hoo Ha Land.
Exactly. Welcome to Hoo Ha Land.
Yes, and it's so cool to actually see all these pieces in person. These are some of the photos that we recently did for the newest spring campaign, which was so fun, and it's just eye-catching. So I gotta ask, the most rewarding thing and the most challenging thing since starting Hoo Ha?
Yeah, I think the most rewarding has been collaborating with friends, creative people, and getting to meet so many women who are also starting businesses or are willing to help me with my business. But then the most challenging thing has been making money.
Yeah.
And being able to support my own production runs, because I'm definitely trying to bootstrap this business. So it's all me and my friends and my family. They're all helping me. And it's growing, which it's been so cool to see people's reactions to it.
Oh yeah, to see Hoo Ha out on the mountain, it is happening slowly but surely. You even have a couple places here in town where your stuff is in the store.
Yes, so Base Mountain Sports does carry some of my inventory, and so does Vail Style and Vail T-shirts. So you'll start to see some of my crochet headband in the stores, and there's fleece, there's pink and red fleece in Vail Style.
Yes.
Those are fun ones. Yeah, so we're getting out there.
I love it. I'm so proud of you. And this is the website, so you can go look online, see the one-of-a-kind outfits you can buy, or also these awesome fleece base layers that I wear all the time, people. I stay so warm in my fleece layers, whether they're pants, long sleeve, or a little bit more summer with the bra top and boxer. There's just so many different accessories that you've put out as well. So really such a great ski line to look up as we're getting ready for spring, getting cute and fashionable, maybe a little less fun as usual.
Yeah, and you get to get ready for closing day. You got to have a fun outfit, right?
Yes, exactly. Thanks for keeping us so stylish. If you haven't heard of Hoo Ha, go look it up. It's such a great brand. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Join her Base Mountain Sports today, tomorrow, up in Beaver Creek.
Yep,
What
10 to
time?
5.
10 to 5. Ooh, alrighty. Thanks, Anna.
See you there.
Thanks, Anna. That was so awesome. Those are so colorful and fun. Very, very amazing. And like you said, perfect stuff as we get to our spring skiing when everybody wants to wear those fun outfits to really stand out on the hill. Well, it's been a fantastic show, but believe it or not, we are already done. Remember, you can catch us every single day here, 7:30 to 8:30. You can find us on Facebook. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and make sure that you're chatting in so you get to be part of the conversation. You can also watch us on Outside TV, Channel 17. So thanks to Meredith, thanks to our guests, Karen and Anna. Amazing interviews today. Thanks to Leah, our producer in the studio. And we will be back here tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you then.